What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Totally Inspired with me, your girl, Sibo Dube. One of the many things that COVID-19 has actually impacted is the travel industry. Like many people, I'm one of those people that are really missing traveling, because before COVID-19, I had the privilege to be able to travel to different places around the world for business and for personal reasons. So today I just thought it would be nice to reminisce and reflect on a trip that I once took just before the COVID-19 pandemic, which was a trip to Singapore in the Far East. Please remember that this is just my personal experience and it's not a reflection of what you would experience or what somebody else has experienced. So what I'm sharing is basically what I experienced and what I enjoyed. But before we go ahead, please remember to hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and please do take the time to go back and look at some of the videos that I've posted. But before we go ahead, please let's listen to our jingle.
Hello, queens. Hello, phenomenal women. Hello, inspirational women. This is your girl, Sibo Dube. Welcome to Totally Inspired, a channel where we talk all things leadership and all things lifestyle. Before we get started, please hit the notification bell and the subscribe button, because you don't want to miss out on this content, which has been created with you in mind, so you can enjoy a full life. Because girl, you deserve it.
So in this video, I'm going to use some pictures and videos that I took while I was traveling to Singapore and just seeing the place, because I realized I still had them on my phone, and I thought this would be nice material. Come along with me. I'll use this material in this video and show you what I experienced when I was in Singapore. Well, Singapore is one of those countries which are also called cities. Singapore has 4 official languages, which include English, Chinese, Tamil, and Malay. One of the things that really struck me when I visited Singapore is the level of cleanliness. And it challenged me to think that in some of our cities, I'm sorry to say, that's one of the things that we need to work on as African people. We can learn from countries like Singapore, because citizens own the cleanliness of their space. I like the way they go about making it possible. It has actually become part of their culture. It is ingrained in everybody that their space should be kept clean. So you might not know this, but Singapore is sometimes known as the fine city. Fine in the sense that, as I explained to you, it is a very clean place, and it's got very fine things. The infrastructure, the look and feel of the city is totally amazing. But on the flip side, you also get fined for a lot of things, and amongst those things that you get fined for is littering. Hence, the city is so clean. In Singapore, when you litter, you get fined. Chewing gum, for example, is not allowed. You cannot be seen chewing gum in public spaces. If you're found chewing gum, you can actually be given a hefty fine of up to $1,000 if you're a first-time offender. So first-time offenders who are found littering, maybe say you've thrown away a sweet wrap or cigarette butts. If you're a first-time offender in that regard, you can be fined up to $300. Another thing is jaywalking is really a no-no. If the pedestrian traffic light tells you to stop as a pedestrian, do stop, because you're going to be fined if you don't follow the instructions. So jaywalking will also lend you a fine if you are not careful.
Now, how do we cross the road from here?
Good question.
Because I know you get arrested for not walking. Maybe we need to get to the traffic light.
Oh, that
Where?
that way. Below.
And the same applies with relieving yourself in public spaces. That would not really go down so well. If you're in Singapore, you get fined for such things and for such behavior. If you're using a public toilet and you don't flush, you can also be fined. So that is why the city is so clean. It's basic things like that, which in other cultures is really taken for granted. You get fined in Singapore. That is why it is called the fine city. If you're seen vandalizing public property, that will attract a fine or even some jail time. Another thing that really struck me about Singapore was feeling safe. I even was able to take a train ride on my own to go and visit Marina Bay as well as the Bay Gardens nearby. And it was a breeze, and the transport network was so efficient. But as a person that was visiting from another country, I felt very safe. I was also able to walk around at night with some female colleagues, and we really felt safe. And on the day that we were there, I remember it was Valentine's Day, and people were really enjoying the night time with their loved ones, walking around freely, and it was absolutely stress-free.
Shopping mall.
I have near the McDonald's.
What?
Near the McDonald's,
Yes.
I heard there's a couple of them. There's another Louis Vuitton store.
I noticed also that there's a lot of people that come from other countries that have actually made Singapore their home, either on a temporary basis, on a medium to long-term basis as well. It's a place that has become a hub for a lot of professionals. The finance industry is booming, and other spaces are also booming. And I think technology is coming up very strongly as well in Singapore. Together with Switzerland, Singapore is regarded as one of the top 2 best countries for expatriates because of the quality of life. According to some estimates, Singapore has an approximate 1.5 million expats that live in the country. Amongst the things that expats in Singapore enjoy is the good public service and the nearly 0% corruption rate. So that is what other people leave their countries to go to Singapore to enjoy, because that is an environment that anybody would be happy to live in. Any well-meaning citizen of the world would be happy to live in. Singapore's infrastructure is totally amazing. I loved seeing the city. I loved seeing the view of the buildings, the architecture. It was especially so intriguing in the nighttime when you see all the tall buildings and the lighting that's there. That really struck me. I love big cities, and Singapore really struck me as one of those very beautiful cities with beautiful architecture. When it comes to food, Singapore's hawker centers are probably some of the best places when you visit the country, where you can find some of the best food that you could ever taste. So if you do get a chance to go there, make sure you visit a hawker center there, and you could get to experience some of the local nice food.
为大吉大利，如意吉祥，物大吉祥。三文鱼誉为年年有余，鱼跃龙门，盈余得利。五香粉誉为五福临门，富贵鸿运，福气吉祥。石油誉为事事顺利，顺顺利利，万事顺利。苹果酱誉为甜甜蜜蜜，恩恩爱爱，春去如红。 佛称誉为天地黄金，黄金满堂，飞金不遇。祝大家
越老越高，老得风生水起，福寿绵绵，阖家欢乐，欢
寿脑大富贵。
The idea is to split it up or that's love?
Untrusted 大卖。
Another thing about Singapore is you can expect friendly and polite people there. It's very much a place where if you come from any part of the world, you won't feel entirely lost, maybe because there's also a huge expat community there. My personal experience was that I didn't find myself in a position where I felt like I'm totally lost or how unfriendly are these people. In most instances, like when I was traveling and seeing the place, I realized that I didn't really need to do a lot of asking. Things were just so clear in terms of the transport network and just knowing where to get what. So that was the one thing that I really enjoyed.
Doors are closing. Cross over to platform D for train service towards Bugis, Pasir Ris and Changi Airport.
One of the items I brought was this pretty little clock here. I don't know if you can see that. It basically captures some of the iconic buildings, iconic structures in Singapore, like the Marina Bay and the airport, the gardens there, and the flyer, like the big wheel that you can actually get onto and have a better view of the city. You can see I'm wearing a t-shirt. That's something that I got, and I also managed to get a kid's t-shirt here, also with the lion, the Singaporean lion. I mean, there were other items that I got, but yeah, this is what I was able to get in terms of souvenirs, and you can see the lion is coming out there very predominantly. So there are so many attractions that you can find in Singapore, but for me, I will just show you images of some of the places that I visited, and you'll see some of the places that I was able to go to and what I enjoyed to see. Of course, you are not limited to what I saw if you do visit Singapore at some point, but I will just share with you what I was able to go and see. So sit back, have a look at the videos that I was able to capture and some of the photos that I was able to capture when I visited there. And I'll come back after that and we'll conclude the video. If you've been to Singapore, please do share your comments down below and tell us about your experience. Maybe it could have been different from mine, but it would be good to know what you thought about the place and how you found the place. Are there things that I've pointed out that you agree with, or did you have a different experience? It would be nice to know. And I hope this video will inspire you to also make a plan when you are able to travel to Singapore. It's one of the best destinations that I've been to, and if the opportunity presents itself, I would like to go back. And this time around, if I do go back, I think I'll also take advantage of the fact that you can go to other neighboring countries, nearby countries like Malaysia. You can also go and visit Bali from Singapore. Well, I do hope you enjoyed that and that it has inspired you to look at ways in which you can travel. It might not be to Singapore, but there are so many other destinations that you can actually travel to. So do make it a point that when you can, you do travel, because we've been missing traveling. For those of us that do enjoy traveling, COVID-19 obviously was a bit of a damper there, and it's been about 2 years of not traveling. And as things ease up, let's get out there and visit other countries, and one of the best countries to go to, from my recommendation of course, would be Singapore. Well, I do hope you enjoyed this video, and please do remember to subscribe, remember to like, remember to comment, remember to share. Until next time, please do keep inspiring.